Hey everyone, Thordan Smash here, and now that we are a little bit more than halfway through Season 24, we're going to start looking ahead to Season 25, and the biggest excitement probably around that is the new legend Sparrow / Artemis / so much more. And today we're going to go over what we know about them, what we can be expecting, and how it's going to change the meta in the game in the future. We're also going to go ahead and give out one of the current universal heirlooms. All you got to do is like, comment, subscribe. You guys know the drill, but without further ado, let's jump into today's topic. Today we're going to be talking about the next legend coming to the game, and there's a lot of things going back and forth, and a lot of confusion overall around it. Hypermist put out the other day that the next legend Sparrow is most likely Italian. They have legendary skins Bloodsport, Condoridio, and Crusader. They gave us a bit of more information, such as there is going to be an epic skin in Split 1 Battle Pass, epic skin in mid-season update, legendary skin in Split 2 milestone event, 3 base legendary, 4 base epic. In fact, this now looks like the direction they're going to go. We got a little bit more information. There is a cat teaser that will be coming with it. You can see this black cat right here. It will show up on maps in the Sparrow teaser, and there was even something right here showing a new image where they are called Belva, which shows a young man. We can't see much of him, but we get a little bit of his garb and his outfit. We can probably assume a couple of legend skins. It also, interestingly, there says born a legend. And going back further to that ballistic cat teaser, there is this image right here where ballistic actually already kind of has that, so it seems identical to it. It makes me wonder if this legend is actually going to be Ballistic's son and ties it to him, and what happened to Vantage's mom. Now, all that being said, the question is, well, they're Italian now. What happened to Vantage's mother and the whole Artemis thing? Well, there's a little bit of confusion back and forth, and the first thing I'm going to go over is that I did talk to one of my sources. Since it is not Vantage's mom, that is most likely a fake leak rumor that came out about it. He said, this is strange since I've seen a work in progress model for her. Have you or Yoro heard anything about this? And then I said, I'll ask Yoro. So, of course, I asked Yoro, and Yoro had also said, never heard of it not being Vantage's mom, or the Italian legend thing. Now, that's not to say that they are not going to be an Italian legend, or that maybe it is no longer Vantage's mom. That being said, it seems like there is conflicting information and a bunch of just stuff going around about it. It's important to know first, I'm going to go over her abilities from what we know. There's a large area of effect, has an unfinished model, bleed and slowdown. They saw a build of Sparrow, and the abilities were passive buffed Ash Data Knife, Bear Trap, Crossbow, but the source was very specific that different builds have different kits, so there's obviously some stuff going on. Maybe a respawn is trying to throw people off, maybe I'm incorrect, maybe Hypermist got miscorrect information. It's really hard to tell because there's always going to be a ton of stuff coming out, but there is some information that we've been given in the past, such as the fact that Artemis, according to Yoro, has been renamed to Sparrow, meaning that the original legend Artemis, which is a bone legend character, has, turned into a new legend, which could also influence how they decide to go in the direction of the character. They've done this before a ton. There was a legend called Jericho that got turned into Newcastle, and it's always going to be changing all around. That being said, Artemis was the original placeholder, and Artemis in Greek religion, the goddess of wild animals, file labeled as PTPOV Artemis targeting animation for one of her abilities, which obviously lets us know one of her abilities has also changed, which is pretty interesting. Artemis definitely lines up more with Vantage's mom as a goddess of the hunt, or the goddess of wild animals, as Vantage is one of the few characters other than Ash with her rat that has an animal with Echo, her bat. There was also talk that there's a placeholder ability in the files called Charge Gauntlet, which is different than anything that's been in the files in the past, showing that this character has probably gone through a lot of reworks and redesign. It'll be interesting to see exactly what they do and how this ends up coming. I'm actually pretty excited because I'm not opposed to an Italian legend and how they go with that route. That being said, it'd be nice to get someone connected to, the overall Apex Legends lore already, instead of introducing new characters like Ballistic or Alter, which I'm not opposed to, but we never get any follow-up on their story whatsoever. There's also one other big thing. I was talking to Yoro the other day, and it came out in a recent leak that the Archer is going to be an anti-Titan rocket launcher that appears in Titanfall and requires lock-on, which is going to be coming to actually Apex Legends. It's very similar to the EPG one, where it will likely only appear in an LTM. If you haven't seen the Archer, this is what it is right here. It's overall a really cool weapon. I don't know about the lock-on function, and it makes me think that there are Titans coming sooner than later, because Yoro also showed us a bunch of game files for anti-Titan stuff coming, with Revenant pistols and anti-type swap crouch. And if they went ahead and introduced Titans in some capacity, it would make sense that you have a lock-on rocket launcher coming into the game. Otherwise, if you could lock onto a Pathfinder swinging around and just one-shot him, that would be probably the worst skill gap in the history of the game. I mean, do you guys remember when the charge rifle was hit scan? That thing was absolutely horrendous. All that being said, that's everything we're going to go over today. Now we're going to jump into community clips. Don't forget to submit your own to me at Thordan Smash on Twitter. But without further ado, let's roll it.
Meet me here. Phase Shields are depleted. Recharging. Reloading. Enemy killed.
Ring is close.
Come on, heal, heal, heal.
Reloading. Shields recharging.
We're close.
I've picked out a wee upgrade. Another soft landing.
Got some uninvited busters. What the
Enemy shield cracked. Fire.
Charge my shield. Here. Taking fire.
Opening fire. The champion fell. Enemy in the distance.
Let me know down below, how do you guys feel about Sparrow as a legend coming in the future, and what do you hope their backstory is? Also, don't forget to check out this video right here where I cover more news on Apex Legends on the daily, and until next time everyone, keep slaying the Outlands. See you out there.